Good, happy Friday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, I-95 back open in Portsmouth after wires fall across highway. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Oh, you don't look so hot. Rough night? Ugh. Oh, well, actually that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic, and drink plenty of fluids.
Source workers are setting up a generator trying to reroute 18 of its customers that lost power when overhead wires fell onto Interstate 95 during today's morning commute in Portsmouth.
The reason that it had issues was the heavy wet snow had accumulated on the equipment and the power line, and there was a broken pole, so those lines came down into the road.
Around 8 a.m., the lines draped down across every lane. Traffic was a nightmare, impassable in spots, as crews worked as quick as they could to reopen both sides of the highway.
Rerouting traffic was a little more of a challenge on the southbound side. There was quite a bit of traffic that was already stuck within the closure.
Despite the danger it posed, right after it happened, police say some impatient drivers went under the lines anyways.
Probably not the best course of action, but we're happy nobody got hurt.
Instead of repairing the lines, Eversource is avoiding putting any more wires across the interstate. After the generator gets going, they hope to finish final repairs tomorrow and hook up homes to a circuit that's patched into the airport nearby.
It's a good reminder to stay focused on safety, watch out for down power lines, and if you see lines tangled up in trees, stay far away, call 911, and don't ever drive over power lines.
Eversource did not need to reclose Route 95 while it made the necessary repairs. In Portsmouth, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Full restoration of electric service may take days, utilities say. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
It's the same scene from Carlisle to Westford to Acton.
It looks like a war zone. There's trees down, like big trees down.
Back roads have become obstacle courses. Driving is dicey by day, impossible by night.
You can see them on top of the wires, so you can tell that we're not going to have power for a while.
These blue dots mean National Grid has plans to take these trees down. The problem is, the storm got here first, taking branches and the wires down with it. In towns like Berlin, Upton, Northborough, and Southborough, more than 80% of homes and businesses were without power as of this afternoon. Families are pitching out food, salvaging what they can outdoors, many resorting to their grills, others filling local restaurants in search of heat and a hot meal.
We haven't had power since midnight last night, and I fortunately could go to work today where I did have power, and now we're out to eat because we can't cook or do anything else.
Sandy Martinez also lost power last night.
And I decided I am not putting up with this, so 6:30 I was on the phone to the hotel.
Fortunately, she found one that's pet-friendly.
How long do you think you're going to be without power?
Probably Saturday or Sunday.
And the big utilities say it could take a few days to get everyone back online. The priority today had to be public safety, crews tackling live wires and restoring critical care facilities and hospitals. We're live in Westford. I'm Mary Salata, WCVB News Center 5.
Mary, thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thousands without power as nor'easter buries Maine in snow. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Oh, you don't look so hot. Rough night? Ugh. Oh, well, actually, that's the problem. You're on antibiotics. Antibiotics can kill the good bacteria as well as the bad, and that's bad news for your tummy, unless you use Florastor. Unlike many other probiotics, it's naturally resistant to antibiotics and protects the good bacteria in your body. So, take some Florastor. Doctors, well, my orders. Be biotic, and drink plenty of fluids.
Yeah, Tracy, CMP says they're bringing additional resources here to York County to handle all of these outages. Just a few minutes ago, CMP trucks repaired a wire just across the street from here, and pretty much anywhere you go around this area, you're going to encounter either a power truck or a downed wire. Kittery has gotten the worst of it. They have had nearly 5,000 customers without power, and at a certain point this morning, that accounted for more than 20% of CMP's reported outages throughout the entire state. Now, other towns have seen their numbers go up within the last hour, but still an incredible percentage of customers here in Kittery are without power. We've seen crews on several different streets trying to repair wires that were down across roads or just try to pull trees back away from those snow-covered wires. And up in York, it was a very similar story. We encountered crews that were just trying to get those wires off of the roadway. The fire department has been working through the night to try to make sure that they're safe.
Luckily, I think the wind kind of dropped out partway through the storm. Otherwise, if we had had the 50-mile-an-hour gusts that were predicted, we would have had a lot worse. But still a lot of power out.
And just about everywhere you look, it looks a lot like what you see here behind me. Every tree absolutely covered across all of the branches in snow, and you can see the weight that that's adding. Even as we have been standing on these different streets where outages were reported, we have heard branches snap right next to us under the weight of all that snow. Some residents telling us that they were trying to reach out of their second floor windows with brooms just to try to knock some of the snow off of those branches. So that's going to be a problem going forward here. Crews are working around the clock, and they're hoping to get a lot of customers back on by noon, but it's certainly going to be quite a project here in Kittery.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Bitcoin price falls 9,000, a 24% decline for the week. Bitcoin fell below 9,000 during Friday afternoon Asia trade, extending losses seen earlier in the week when it dropped below the key 10,000 level. Trump agrees to meet with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un on denuclearization. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
One, two, here we go!
Alive gives you more vitamins and minerals than leading brands. Because when you start with more, you own the morning. Alive.
Today, I have the privilege of briefing President Trump on my recent visit to Pyongyang, North Korea. I'd like to thank President Trump, the Vice President, and his wonderful national security team, including my close friend, General McMaster. I explained to President Trump that his leadership and his maximum pressure policy, together with international solidarity, brought us to this juncture. I expressed President Moon Jae-in's personal gratitude for President Trump's leadership. I told President Trump that in our meeting, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said he is committed to denuclearization. Kim pledged that North Korea will refrain from any further nuclear or missile tests. He understands that the routine joint military exercises between the Republic of Korea and the United States must continue. And he expressed his eagerness to meet President Trump as soon as possible. President Trump appreciated the briefing and said he would meet Kim Jong-un by May to achieve permanent denuclearization. The Republic of Korea, along with the United States, Japan, and our many partners around the world, remain fully and resolutely committed to the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Along with President Trump, we are optimistic about continuing a diplomatic process to test the possibility of a peaceful resolution. The Republic of Korea, the United States, and our partners stand together in insisting that we not repeat the mistakes of the past, and that the pressure will continue until North Korea matches its words with concrete actions. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.